on tarmac in the rain, so
About to be joined by over £1 million worth of highly tuned rally cars at the start of the British Midland Ulster Rally. But who's going to win?
Well, I think it's probably one of the Mantas is going to be a winner. We're not quite sure how the Cosworth's going to go against the Mantas. It's certainly got the power, but perhaps not quite so well sorted on the suspension side over the bumps and jumps, so it could be interesting.
I must say I'm very impressed with the route this year. They've added a lot of new stages, and the quality of the stages is absolutely superb. I think it's going to be one of the best Ulster rallies ever.
The weather is changeable, and obviously if it's very wet, then I think we've got to look over our shoulder at the quattro, the four-wheel drive cars, because the stages, you know, there's some of the stages tend to be a bit narrow and gravelly, and it will suit the four-wheel drive car if it's very wet.
I think the Cosworth Sierras are going to be a bigger problem than most people think. They've got quite a significant power advantage, albeit that they're still Group A cars. But I think probably I would prefer to be driving a Manta than driving a Sierra at the same time.
I think it's the last event for the Group B Mantas, and we'll just see how well the Ford Cosworth goes against them.
Only seconds to go now before the newly crowned Miss Northern Ireland flags off car number 1, the Sierra Cosworth of Jimmy McRae and Ian Grindrod.
Jimmy McRae off from the 87 British Midland Ulster Rally.
Following last year's winner off the ramp is the Opel Manta of Russell Brooks and Mike Broad. And a left-hand drive Sierra in the hands of Mark Lovell and Roger Freeman. Lovell has never won an international rally in spite of being the reigning British rally champion. A first-time visitor to the Ulster is American John Woodner in a left-hand drive BMW M3. And the top ladies crew again, Louise Aiken-Walker and Ellen Morgan in a Peugeot 205. Local heroes Bertie Fisher and Austin Fraser start in a lowly 11th place, but no one expects them to stay there for long. And there's Dubliner Austin McHale in the familiar black Manta. This year the action starts at a blustery Nuts Corner racetrack, a special stage to give spectators a good view of the high-speed sport of rallying. McRae is first away. Now join Russell Brooks and Mike Broad for a tire-smoking trip round the circuit.
Flat left, 200. Crispy to slow left and play right. Straight, bad left tightens. Okay.
Mark Lovell in the distinctive yellow Sierra is next away. His time for the lap, 58 seconds, equal with Brooks and 2 seconds quicker than McRae. But here's a man who means business right from the start. Bertie Fisher's time of 57 seconds is the quickest of the lot. Everyone starts the rally so well, however. This is young Ulsterman Stephen Finlay. After the racetrack, it's onto the roads, and the rally begins for real. Mike Broad calls the pace notes for Russell Brooks, as he plans to for all the 23 stages. That's 130 miles of very fast driving indeed.
Flat crest and flat left. 200. right 50, tail left tightens, 50, turn bad right. Right into turn, bad left narrows. Flat crest 100. Right straight, right into turn, bad left tightens. Flat crest, right, straight. Mid right, slow left.
This is one of the fastest parts of Stage 2 west of Lisburn. Well, let's see the same section again from inside the Manta.
Flat right 50. Left 50, turn, bad right tightens. 100. The braking. Easy left and K right tightens. Repeat, easy left and K right tightens. And slow right. Straight. Long mid right tightens. Left 50. Flat right, mid left. Straight.
Mark Lovell is surprising everyone with his early pace. The Englishman is determined not to be a runner-up all the time, and he's scorching into the lead. Behind him, John Woodner is finding out the difference between Ulster roads and American freeways. Bertie Fisher knows everything there is to know about these roads, and it shows. Finland's Pentti Riikola is a previous winner in Ulster, but at this point he lies 7th. Austin McHale started at number 13, but moves up to 5th in just 3 stages. Behind him, Englishman Phil Collins makes it 3 Sierras in the top 10, plus 4 Mantas. Young Stephen Finlay is going again after his first stage mishap, but his car is now having engine problems. This is another local crew, Robin Lyons and George Miller, in a Peugeot 205. Robin Phillips and Stephen McCauley are going well in the Golf GTI. 3 stages gone, the man setting the early pace is Mark Lovell. No problems so far?
No, not really, just tyre choice. We went out on quite soft front tyres and they've gone off, but we'll get the right tyres on now and hope that it'll stay dry, because we don't really know what it's going to do in the wet, and at the moment all we've done is dry weather testing. We know what to do, we know how it's going to work. But if it rains hard, like it's meant to, then it might be a different story.
And Mark took 3 seconds off us on the last stage. Sorry, 4 seconds, and we were equal on the second, and we took 1 off him on the first. So he's got a 3-second advantage at the moment, but it's obviously very, very early days. We're not really concerned. The Sierras obviously have a lot more power in terms of brake horsepower. They've got much more than the Mantas have, and those were fairly smooth stages, so I wasn't really surprised at all. I think, though, maybe when we come into the more bumpy stages, the Mantas might have an edge again, you know.
John Woodner, it's a long way from Washington, D.C. to Saintfield in County Down. It must be quite a new experience for you.
Yeah, well, you know, we don't have any tarmac rallies at all in the United States, and so this is quite an unusual experience for us all the way around. First time for me in Ireland, and it's a good experience, but we're certainly learning a lot in a big hurry. Well, it's sort of getting used to the bumps and the jumps, because they're a little hard to judge. But you know, a road's a road, and the whole business of rallying is driving down the road that's in front of you as fast as you can.
Driving as fast as he can, and even faster than most anticipated, is Mark Lovell in the radio-paging Sierra. Bertie Fisher in the Alamac Manta now pulls back Lovell's 3-second advantage and takes the lead for the second time as they speed past historic Saul in County Down. Co-driver McNamee with the head down as he reads the vital pace notes for Pentti Riikola. This crew, however, are complaining of brake problems. Austin McHale is staging a spectacular psychological recovery following his Donegal accident when he was overcome by petrol fumes. For Chris Mellors, the Group A Sierra is proving to be quite a handful. 6 stages have now been completed, and at the service halt in Ballynahinch, Bertie Fisher, who still holds that slender lead, reviews the action.
I think we're 8 seconds in front now. we took quite a bit of time with Mark Lovell in the last stage, and we've got in front of him again. So,
what's the secret? Why have you suddenly gone so fast?
I don't really know. The stages are very, very fast. That stage was, I think, a little bit bumpier than some of the others, and maybe it's not just so good for Sierra, I don't know.
Jump, jump for my love.
Jumping for rallying Jimmy McRae in the Gemini Sierra, which is giving him big brake problems. However, he still lies fourth. They have had to change the gearbox in this car, but despite that setback, Russell Brooks is still in third place and in a very aggressive mood.
Right, it's a bit right, tightens. Straight. Okay, right, tightens. 50. Mid-left opens. That jump straight.
We have now moved into carbreaker country. In the foothills of the Mournes lies the notorious 13 miles of Hamilton's Folly stage. 13 miles which have been unlucky for many. These jumps can be lethal, particularly when they're obscured by dazzling sunlight.
Flat left, straight. Flat left, low left is a turn, slow left.
It's been a difficult day for Di Llewellyn. The Quattro's been plagued with problems, but Lovell's Sierra has been trouble-free. So too has John Woodner's BMW. This is Sebastian Lindholm in another Quattro. But Malcolm Wilson won't get much further in his Peugeot 205. After the overnight stop, Wilson crashes out and his car is burned out, but the crew escape unhurt. Scotsman Andrew Wood went off on stage 5, then had a puncture on stage 6. He's lost a lot of time. Fisher and Fraser keep the power on at the top of the leaderboard, but the Manta loses its grip on some sand on stage 7, overshoots a junction, and costs them at least 15 seconds. As the cars head back to Belfast at the end of day 1, it's tight at the top. Mark Lovell has regained the lead, but only by seconds.
3 ahead of Bertie, the local man. And tomorrow I think we're rallying past his back door, literally.
That's
so
right.
It's going to be pretty fast in the morning.
Well, you know, I don't think you need to be too worried, because there's one stage, obviously, down in Enniskillen that I know probably better than most of the other guys, but apart from that one stage, you know, the rest of the rally is just the same as this part has been.
We're 11 seconds behind Lovell and 8 seconds behind Bertie, and that's a cough and a sneeze. So I think really the rally starts tomorrow.
The cars are locked up for the night, and Belfast goes about its business. Austin McHale will have some time to make up in the morning.
I think it's approximately around 45, 48 seconds, something like that. I'm not exactly sure.
So with a full day still to go, that's not too far, is it?
No, it's not too far, but Penty is, I think, is 12 seconds or 13 seconds behind us, and he's going to be going very quick in the morning, so we'll have to keep going, try and keep ahead of him anyway.
It's 6 a.m. in Clogher Valley, and Mark Lovell, though looking relatively calm on this approach, is on a mighty charge, determined to teach Bertie a lesson in his own backyard. Bertie, in turn, has planned that these stages be a bonus for the Fermanagh crew in the Alamac Manta. He is now on his home stage, sponsored by Fisher Engineering, but it is to prove to be a humbling experience. Russell Brooks, by his own admission, is not on top form. However, this great driver can never be discounted. Austin McHale is having a fabulous drive. Just reward for Mick Eath and the rest of his crew for all that hard work. For last year's winner, McRae, this is not proving to be a happy weekend. His brake problems continue in the RED Sierra, but he is now back up into 5th place, ahead of Penty Auricola. Penty's problems seem to be tyre-related. Although trying very hard indeed, he is losing places. Phil Collins is in 7th place in the Brooklyn Sierra, over a minute behind Auricola. But he is heartened by the fact that the Group N Sierra Cosworth that he has hired to Ferreras leads that category. Andrew Wood in the GM Manta 400 is back in 8th, and obviously in a great hurry for his breakfast. In Ballinamallard, you're in the kingdom of Fisher, and the whole family has turned out to welcome the rally. Although it is still only 7 a.m., Bertie's wife Gladys has already cooked 500 breakfasts, ably assisted by Granny Fisher, who no doubt has reserved a special treat for her son Bertie, who is hungry to avenge the 21 seconds taken off him by Lovell on the run to Ballinamallard.
Bertie, you're getting breakfast on the job here, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What can you do about this man, Mark Lovell? He's taken quite a lump of time after this morning.
I'm just about to get the mafia working on him,
You've got the local fan club. You're getting fueled up.
I'm fueled up.
He has been very quick this morning, hasn't he?
He's been going very, very well. No question about it. The stages have been quite fast this morning, and they're probably sitting in the extra power that he's got. But, you know, he's been going quickly right from the start, so...
It's been pretty exciting because it's very wet and very slippy, and under the trees there's a lot of moss, and we've been using a lot of road, so I'd like to slow up a bit, really, if we can. But Bertie's still going very quickly.
This was supposed to be a Manta rally.
I hope it's going to remain a Cosworth one. There's a long way to go yet. We're only... I don't even think we're halfway, are we yet? But I don't know what's going to happen.
As Ballinamallard disappears in the distance, Fisher and Fraser know time is running out, and they make a final attempt to break the domination of Lovell's Sierra. Russell Brooks has also started a charge, and it's the Mantas now setting the fastest times. Leader Lovell reckons his tyres aren't quite right for the conditions. The diagnosis is confirmed soon afterwards when the Sierra spins, but remains undamaged. Penty Auricola is using every inch of the road to improve on his 6th place. Jimmy McRae's service team have sorted out his brake problems, and he's moved up to 4th. Austin McHale is one of only 2 drivers from the south of Ireland in the event, and ironically both he and Louise Nolan crashed on their last outing in Donegal. Phil Collins in the Sierra displays some frontal damage after he hit a gate post. It's the start of stage 16 at Newton Stewart. The road is twisting and slippery, a real driver's nightmare. But Russell Brooks doesn't ease up for a second.
Left and mid-right. Bad right opens, farm.
Ahead of Brooks, the leader, Mark Lovell, is also coping admirably with the conditions.
Gravel and mud, bad left. Right into bad right. Left 50. Black crest 50, left into K left tightens, mud. Straight, flat left, long flat right and quick left over crest.
Bertie Fisher is going as hard as he dares. He's 3 seconds quicker than Lovell, but it's not enough to take back the lead.
Right and left, gravel, turn hairpin left.
Brooks continues to take a tidy line.
Flat crest, left and right. 100 flat jump, maybe 100. Quick left opens.
But Jimmy McRae has slid wide in one corner, and he's done a lot of damage. While Sebastian Lindholm gives us an action replay, smashing his bumper and putting a rear wheel out of line. On stage 17, Fisher is still flying, but Lovell gains another 7 seconds. It looks as though the Ulsterman may have to settle for second. Brooks looks secure in third. Austin McHale's good drive continues, he's 5th. Ahead of him, the damage to McRae's Sierra is very apparent. Penty Auricola gets it completely wrong at this bend. But he's not the only one. This is Stephen Emerson in the Nissan 240 RS. And there's more. Graham Middleton from Shropshire is also caught out in his Toyota.
Right, 50, 100, 100. 100 flat jump, maybe 100. Quick left opens. Straight, flat left, long flat right and quick left over crest. Straight, flat right opens. Long flat right and quick left over crest. Bertie Fisher is going as hard as he dares. He's 3 seconds quicker than Lovell, but it's not enough to take back the lead. Bertie Fisher is going as hard as he dares. He's 3 seconds quicker than Lovell, but it's not enough to take back the lead.
As Ballinamallard urinates Di Llewellyn is just outside the top 10, but the conditions are starting to suit the four-wheel drive Audi. Englishman Dave Metcalf is heading for a place in the leaderboard in his Group A Opel Kadett. Robin Phillips has been giving local fans something to cheer about in his Golf GTI. And behind him, Simon Davison in the second of the works Volkswagens. And here's the ever-consistent Robin Lyons, still going well in the little Peugeot. At the final service halt in Ballycastle, McRae's car receives a lot of attention, but for Bertie Fisher, it's time to accept the inevitable.
Can't do a thing about it at this stage, Gary. It's really as I predicted earlier on. These stages up here are just far too fast for the Mantas. We don't have the top speed or the power, really. And the last stage, for example, I tried everything I knew. I drove as hard as I dare, and he took 8 seconds off. So.
Still, the work goes on to fix the McRae Sierra after the championship leader's rare mistake.
Clipped the back just on mud, clipped the back corner, then in the next corner right, it just understeered into the bank.
Here's Leo Shaw, the new Group N leader. I think you were about 3 minutes adrift overnight behind Ramon Ferreros, so this position must be a bit of a pleasant surprise for you.
Yes, it's a pleasant surprise indeed, yeah. It's a bit unexpected to see Ramon stuck in the hedge. These things happen just.
You've had a fairly trouble-free run so far?
Yes, it's fairly trouble-free, just front struts sort of rattling, but it's hanging in there.
2 stages left, and although the issue looks settled, nothing can be taken for granted in rallying, especially when one of those stages is Tor Head. For Mark Lovell and Roger Freeman, it is now a celebration sprint to the finish. The Mike Little team can celebrate 5 victories in a row, but for the British champion, this one is the one that really counts, as it's his first international. Bertie Fisher and Austin Fraser have driven the rally of their lives, and they now comfortably lead the Tarmac Championship. The amateurs have beaten the professionals, all except Lovell. Their second place is a tribute to Fisher's skills and Sidney Meek's preparation, but the Manta is now simply outdated. Austin McHale and Christy Farrell, 3rd on the road and 4th in the rally, have again produced an outstanding performance from a private team. The rebuild since Donegal has been costly, but by Belfast it must seem worth it, as many international names are behind the Dublin pair. Penty Auricola and Irish co-driver Ronan McNamee have not had a happy rally. The 5th place will be disappointing for the Great Finn, but he still retains a slender chance of getting the Shell Oils Open Championship in the Isle of Man. Jimmy McRae and Ian Grinrod provide the last-minute drama. They are late on the road following a water pump change. Despite many problems and a few rare driver errors, Jimmy comes home 3rd in the very battered Sierra to make him hot favourite for the British Championship with 1 round to go. Andrew Wood and John Meadows eventually make it up to 6th place. Savour these moments, because it is one of the last times you will see the Manta in international action. After 51 wins, it's sad that it has been humbled by a Group A car, but that's progress, or is it? Phil Collins and Brian Thomas will be 7th in their Sierra, not without many moments, as we have seen. However, they will be the only Phil Collins car to finish. Stephen Finlay retired their Manta with engine problems, and Ferreros crashed the Group N Sierra while leading the category. Again, an outstanding show from Louise Aiken-Walker and Ellen Morgan in the 1600cc Peugeot. Front-wheel drive will never be as spectacular to look at as rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, but the girls' speed have brought them 11th overall, a class win, and naturally the ladies. Finally, the Audis, and not a good Ulster for the David Sutton team. Sebastian Lindholm and Stefan Pedersen will finish 8th in fairly unspectacular style, which is in marked contrast to their teammates in the Gemini-backed Audi Quattro Coupes. Broken power steering belts, a lost rotor arm, and other problems have done nothing to deter David Llewellyn and Phil Short's enthusiasm. 10th place is a just reward for such determination.
At the end of the British Midland Ulster Rally, 27-year-old Mark Lovell from Somerset drives up the finish ramp as the winner of an international event for the first time in his 6-year rally career. Beside him, co-driver Roger Freeman, an English solicitor, will soon have a double celebration, and his wife has the baby they're expecting any time now. But for full-time rally driver Mark Lovell, the champagne will never taste sweeter than it does here in Belfast.
We won the championship last year without winning a round, so this is the first international win. It's great, especially to do it over here against all the mantas and everything. Fantastic.
Well, that's been the whole story of the event. You've absolutely confounded everyone. Your driving's been superb, but the car, what a performance.
Fantastic. We've not had any real problems with it. The only problems we've had is with the tyres and the weather, and the car's been faultless. It's been lovely.